Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me?
Not a game, not a game, not a game. We talking about practice.
We thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
Inside a different league, I'm coming. I'm flat out coming.
It's my quarterback. And if you guys do that, man, it's unfair.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan, and I want to say a huge thank you to everyone over at Wire to Wire Sports for having the Sports Report on the network. This is our debut episode with Wire to Wire Sports, so I want to say thank you to Gene and the rest of the crew for having us. We do appreciate you guys. Let me go ahead and bring in our cast of characters. First, he is my co-host. This man has forgotten more baseball than I will ever know because I just can't keep my hands off Asian women. Let me get my man Tony up in here. Seven, what's up?
Will, I got a huge announcement to make. Uh-oh. I have realized what my lifelong dream is to be and what my dream job is.
What's that lifelong dream?
I want to be the guy responsible for helping Cam Newton pick out hats. Cam Newton is the modern day version of Emperor's New Clothes.
Oh my gosh.
There is some idiot that helps Cam Newton prepare his wardrobe and goes, people are going to think this is great. This is revolutionary. Bro, that's a British policeman's hat.
Mm-hmm.
Then that picture that was in our chat earlier. Like, what? I get made fun of for how I look in jeans and a t-shirt. Dude can wear a bobby hat and he makes millions of dollars to sit on ESPN and make fun of Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my dream job. I want to do both of those things.
It would be awesome. Oh, wait a minute. I got to stop it. Is this who I think it is? Is it my girl? Oh, wait. How the hell? She just rolled out. Hey. All right. Hopefully she'll be back. All right. Let me go ahead and bring in the next person, part of the team here. He's also with me on Saturday nights on the podcast. Bring my man Ando in. Ando, what's up?
Yo, what up, y'all? How we doing tonight?
How you doing, man?
We're doing all right, man. We're doing all right. I see you guys have decorations on your wall. You got a big old poster of the Sports Reports podcast. Seven over there has pop figures. You'll notice I started hanging up some of my hats there.
There you go.
I'm gonna start doing that for my little background there, so I can.
There you go.
Yeah, right. Seven.
There's gonna be some LED lights up here eventually. I just too lazy to hang them.
I gotta ask this for you, Seven. How about them Chiefs?
I cannot wait to talk about that game.
We're gonna get it.
Oh my god,
that made me about throw up. But we're gonna get into that. All right, let's go ahead and bring in the. I don't know what is this Obi-Wan Kenobi. Is this Obi-Wan Kenobi on the Sports Report?
Bring him on. If he says hello there, we know it's Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Back by popular demand.
I quit.
Oh my god.
I quit.
I have returned to bring everything back into order. Settle down, children. Daddy's home.
Oh my god.
420 maybe.
Oh,
Tony,
man.
are you sure your dream job isn't to be Fred Durst's stunt double?
Damn.
That was pretty solid.
Yeah, I actually applied for that job at one point, but he wanted me to do it all for the nookie, and I'm just not that kind of guy.
Oh, he tried to send you to one of Diddy's parties?
Yeah.
No,
and
that's rough, man.
it's the environment of the Diddy party just rubbed me the wrong way, so I decided it wasn't for me.
Why?
All right.
Andrew ahead of you in line? I mean, Ando ahead of you in line?
All right. Let me go ahead and bring in these next two gentlemen from the original player versus team. First, let me bring my man John in. John, what's up?
What's going on now?
How you
John,
doing,
we
man?
missed you last week.
I'm back, man.
I didn't think he was that black. Oh, there he is.
He is back. All right. Let me also go ahead and bring my man Kyle in. Kyle, what's up?
Yo, what's
How
going
you
on?
gentlemen doing today?
I could be better.
All right. All right. Now,
It's John's
Everybody, dog.
here we
It's
go.
Kyle's worst nightmare.
Yeah.
Here we go. Here we go. Now, she is here to talk about her Washington Commanders.
Where's my towel?
Why?
Let me bring my girl Zoe in. Zoe, what's up?
First off, don't do that. I am not.
First off, I told you.
Team won.
I
the
told
right
you.
team definitely won.
I
And
told
who are
you.
the Commanders?
Zoe,
I
did
live
I
in
not tell
Maryland.
you?
We call them the Redskins here.
Zoe, did I not tell you that the Commanders were going to make noise in the playoffs?
What you talking to me?
I'm telling you. Did I not tell you that the Commanders were going to make noise in the playoffs?
Where are they at now? Bye.
Well,
Home.
so are
We're
12
gone.
other teams in the playoffs.
We're gone.
So are 12
Brandon,
other
you
teams.
said Ando. You say everyone's going to make noise in the playoffs.
The
I did
true
not. The
winners-
two teams that I
Yeah,
said were going to
the
make
true
noise in the
winners-
playoffs are the Chiefs and the Commanders.
the
Me
true-
personally, I wanted the Lions and the Chiefs to go to the Super Bowl.
I wanted the Lions too. But anyway,
Yeah.
the true winners have advanced. Casey's beloved Pigeons
You,
have made it. Have
Is
made
that-
it to the Super Bowl.
Joe, you need to look at that man. That man is suffering right now. That party from Philadelphia is still hanging on outside of his house. You thought he hated Philadelphia fans before. No, he hates them now more
Yes,
than
she
ever.
does.
Oh,
Well,
Yes,
Philadelphia's
he
got their work cut out
Yo.
for them. They've got to go up against Taylor Swift and the referees.
And the refs, you're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Oh.
That's right.
Steven, you and I are going to have a field day with this, bud. You and I are
Oh,
going to
yeah.
have a field day with this.
First thing
Man.
I gotta do. I gotta do this. Kyle, man, I gotta do this. I'm gonna go to you first. Then I'm gonna go to Zoe to talk about her Commanders.
No,
And we got two Chief fans in the house.
You gotta flip it.
What
I'm
about
an
the
Eagles
Raiders?
fan. He a Commanders fan.
Oh, we gotta flip it. Okay. So
Yeah, she
Zoe,
jumped
you
ship as soon as the
Commanders fan.
the Commanders lost.
No,
Okay, so Kyle's the Commanders and you the Eagles.
We both hate each other's prospective city, so we were going for each other's team.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
Is that?
Okay.
You know, I judge cities by food, and I'll take a cheesesteak over a half smoke. So, I mean, I like Philly better.
You look like you've taken a lot of cheesesteaks in your life, Ambrose, so that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. I ate 3 today. Thank you very much.
God, you oh
With
my
the
God. that
cheese
was
whiz
perfect.
and the onions.
Yep,
Yeah.
I can smell it from
Let
over
me
here.
go. All right, let me go and let me go to Cal first. Cal, what are your thoughts on the games this weekend? Let me go to Cal first.
The Washington fan base got humbled yesterday because their team got shellacked. And let's move on to the second game.
Hold on. I'm gonna.
No, we're not gonna just.
I'm gonna put some preface.
Oh, man.
Well,
If the one thing that the Commanders didn't do against the Buccaneers and the Lions was they didn't turn over the football. It's the one thing that Philadelphia was able to do against Commanders. If you
No,
take
we need
away
to
those
talk-
3 turnovers,
we need to talk about Casey. Your team did that elite free willy jump. Let's talk about
Wild
that.
Dragon, Wild Dragon.
Dwell on that for just a second. That was poetry.
Oh.
It was gorgeous. It was
That
gorgeous.
was amazing.
It was gorgeous.
Well,
Anyway, go ahead.
Let's
The thing that
let's be
kills
real.
me is this. The thing that kills me is this. Philly treated them so bad. It was like the Commanders didn't even deserve to be there.
Exactly.
They were playing
my
on
God.
house money. They were playing on house money. A better game for the NFC Championship would have been Eagles and Lions.
They cashed a check. It bounced.
It did. The Commanders weren't just playing on house money. The Commanders were playing on Lions money because if the Lions didn't finally have a bad game, because even though the Lions lost a couple times this year, they didn't have a bad game. Yeah. If the Lions don't have a bad game at the worst possible time, we're looking at Eagles.
And I think in that Lions game, the refs really took it to the Lions because Jared Goff was getting the crap kicked out of him.
It doesn't help that the Lions turned the ball over 5 times in that game, and it's another reason why the Eagles beat the Commanders was because the Commanders turned the ball over 3 different times.
No, but Casey did say fans were talking reckless, basically like, oh, they already beat the Eagles but that was the game that Hurts was injured. So you see how it goes. I'm just asking.
It's the Commanders were playing with house money, and they finally ran out of the house's money, and now they owe the house money.
You know what? Honestly, I'm not going to agree with you there. I think the Commanders played really well. I think they had a young quarterback. He hit the NFC Championship. That's tough for a rookie to take. I don't think the Commanders have anything to be ashamed of. I think they did and I hate the Commanders. I can't stand it. But you have to be proud. I mean, that's a season you have to be proud of. They came from 4-13. They have a rookie quarterback. They rallied. They didn't stop after Chicago did that stupid rally the crowd thing, and they won on the Hail Mary. They just ran away with the season after that. Mm-hmm. And even though they lost, you got to give credit where credit's due. That kid pulled the team together in his first year, and he had a great year. And hopefully they build off that.
Let me go back to Kyle real quick because I want to get Kyle's opinion on that second game.
You might as well just skip him.
Josh Allen got that 4th and 1.
He what?
Josh Allen got that 4th and 1. I don't care how y'all call it. I looked at it about 15 times today. He got it.
Yeah,
I'll say it as a Chiefs fan. He got it.
Yeah.
And what about that interception that clearly hit the ground?
I need someone to explain to me when it was 4th and 5, last Bills possession. We got hit. Tight end didn't catch the ball. Why'd they throw a flag and then pick the flag up?
There was never a flag thrown. They said it. They said that there was never a flag thrown. That was a production error, and that pisses me off because it questions the entire fucking game.
As soon as Jim saw the flag logo come up, Tony and Jim were both looking for the flag, and they didn't see it.
More interestingly, though, from every angle on that interception that magically turned into the reception.
Oh, okay. I got an argument for that.
The magic pass, we'll call it a magic bullet. From every angle, that ball hit the ground. How the hell did the refs miss that?
The argument that I'm going to make off of that.
What argument? It clearly hit the ground from every point of view.
Listen, pay attention. He gave you the chance to speak. Let him run. He's got it.
Who?
Ando, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Right. No, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Here's the philosophy with that rule, right? If the ball moves when it hits the ground, it is considered incomplete. If you take a look at the angle that they show, when Worthy is coming down with that ball, when it hits, the ball does not move, which means that ball has no inclination from the ground on it whatsoever. By that logic, hold on.
No,
by that logic, the ground had no indication on the movement of the football. Now, if at any point when that ball hit the ground and the ball shifts in any way, shape, or formation, I will argue till the day you die that is an incomplete pass. But you cannot see that ball shift. You cannot see that ball move in any way, shape, or form. So, by the definition of that rule, whoever has the ball maintains possession. Now, on the way up, all the way down, at the very peak of where that ball was at, you can argue that Buffalo had that football. But as they're coming down, Worthy gains possession. Ball hits the ground, no movement on the ball. Worthy still has it in his control. They made the right call on that.
No, it's not about movement. No one had clear possession.
They said on the broadcast it's about movement. It was
Chris Collinsworth. He sucks.
Okay, it wasn't Collinsworth.
It wasn't. He is terrible. But go ahead, Casey. What was your point?
No, again with the we had that go on. The game itself was a decent game. With me and Will, we went back and forth. The Bills left points on the field.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of
5 points.
Instead of kicking the extra point, y'all go for 2-2-point conversion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Bills have faced Kansas City 4 times in a row. It's hard to blow a big playoff game 4 times in a row. I don't know any other team that may have done that.
What did you say? Kyle, you said something interesting before we got done. You said that Josh Allen is Kansas City's bitch.
Yeah.
Yes.
Dude, it's a lot like Pedro with the Yankees. Like, he is great against every other team. He is great in every other situation. But I don't know if it's McDermott. I don't know if it's the offensive coordinator not calling the right game plan. They should have ran the football more in that game. That third quarter
Cook was cooking. I ain't gonna sit here in front.
Third quarter, Cook that offense ran for 90 yards. If you would have put any of that offense in the first half, we are talking a completely different game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I would like to say something though, because I normally hate when people complain about referees, but when you're watching Kansas City, like Kansas City was directly opposite from the Washington-Detroit game, and when you're watching Jared Goff just get the snot smacked out of him on every play, and then like Patrick Mahomes trips, and it's a 15-yard penalty.
How many times they called roughing the passer yesterday?
You have to.
No. Answer the question. Answer the question, Ambrose. Give me the numbers. Come on, we got to quantify it. Football's a business. Give me the business numbers. How many times did they call roughing the passer yesterday? 0.
On either side.
Zero. Like 2 titties in your face. 0. 0 times called yesterday. Okay. And then you have the fact that Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen both got their.
That's an amazing. That's an amazing.
Quit trying to change the subject because I proved. Quit trying to change the subject because I proved you wrong. 0 times, and both Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes were getting their asses handed to them yesterday. The refs actually called, outside of a couple of plays that we can all debate because we're sports fans and we're going to. The refs actually let them play yesterday and called it an extremely fucking clean game. Nobody's talking about that. They're talking about 3 plays out of 120.
And the Bills lost by 3 points. Is that a coincidence?
But then you have
the Bills left 5 points on the field.
It goes back to what we said. It is shitty play calling somewhat. Because you had 2 opportunities. You put Josh, you could do this dumbass tush push with Josh Allen instead of giving the ball to James Cook.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Because I always thought it was illegal to push another player across the line of scrimmage. When did that stop?
It's not. That bullshit.
Because back in the day, like in the 30s, when they still wore those weird helmets.
Oh, you're talking 100 years ago.
To throw the running back, and they stopped allowing that.
Okay, all right. Now so we're going to
do it again.
Cool. So
and 100 years ago, black people couldn't play in the NFL. Rules are different now.
So technology, we're not going to use cell phones because they didn't use cell phones 100 years ago. The game adapts. The rules are going to adapt.
But isn't that dangerous? Like, what if you push them in and
And if they see that happen on a more consistent basis, they will make the rule change to it.
Just like they did with kickoffs.
Yep.
I don't like push.
Let me go over to John real quick. John, what were your thoughts on this weekend's games?
I mean, y'all pretty much stated everything. Like I said, I mean, the biggest thing to me is the Bills kept going for it on 4th down, like Kay said, with that push. And it's crazy to me. Why call it to go to the same side every time? Tony Romo was calling. They're going to the left side. He said it every time.
Yep.
Like,
Josh Allen's running yesterday
the same play to the same direction, and they know that you're going there.
Josh Allen's running was as predictable as Zoe shooting me down if I actually tried to ask her out. Like, it's just not going to happen. It's going to get stopped. It's going to get shut down.
If you just put the whole thing, just put it under a microscope like this. When it comes to the regular season, Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes split. When it comes to the playoffs, Josh Allen is Patrick Mahomes' bitch. At this point, only one person can beat him in the playoffs. There's one person.
JB.
They need Joe. The only way Josh Allen
she said Eli, damn.
Josh needs Joe Burrow to put Patrick out in order to go to
So you think
Joe
come on,
Burrow ain't going to let that happen.
Hold on. Kyle, that's not entirely true because Joe Burrow did
Wait, so what's the record between Burrow and him then?
Burrow is 1-0 against the Bills in the playoffs.
No. I'm talking about. I thought you said against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, Burrow is 1-1 against Patrick in the playoffs.
Oh, okay.
Burrow is 1-0 against Josh Allen. Patrick is 4-0 in the playoffs against Josh Allen.
Nick Wright said something on First Take this morning that I think is interesting.
I hate him, but go ahead.
I get it. That fucking that Timu Severus Snape looking motherfucker. I get it. But
Timu.
But he referenced the Bills being cursed, like the Red Sox, because of trading Babe Ruth due to the fact that Buffalo traded the pick to Kansas City that gave Kansas City Patrick Mahomes while Tyrod Taylor was in charge of their quarterback room.
They were cursed long before that.
Let's not forget.
They were cursed long before that.
I mean, yeah, I think the curse goes back to 1990.
Yeah, with Jim Kelly. Yep.
Yeah. But you got to remember that the Bills also traded away. The Bills had a chance to pick up Xavier Worthy during the draft, and they didn't. They picked up Keon.
They traded him too. Yep.
And then the very next pick, Kansas City picked up Worthy. Which, don't get me wrong, I think Coleman's a good receiver.
I was about to say, Coleman legit.
Yeah, but if you take a look, especially at this last game, Xavier Worthy was so much more to that Kansas City offense than Coleman was to that Bills offense.
Yeah, but it's honestly that one is a wash though. Yeah, exactly. Andy Reese calling the plays. If you have Keon Coleman on the other side, if it splits, Keon Coleman's still getting 60 yards and a great catch yesterday.
Did Von Miller play yesterday?
I don't think
I didn't see him do anything yesterday.
I don't know, bro.
I didn't see him do anything yesterday.
Parsons, he just fucking disappeared.
He might as well have been sitting up in the box with Taylor Swift yesterday watching the game because
Von Miller's getting old. Can he sign with the Raiders?
Hey, but John,
Von Miller had one tackle yesterday.
But John, let me get real quick. Let me get your quick thoughts on Philly and the Commanders.
We all knew the Commanders' defense was trash.
Yep.
Pure D garbage.
Yep. Trash.
They ran the ball all over. They could run the ball. Will Shipley ran the ball down the goddamn field.
Yep.
Will Shipley.
Yep.
And one thing I thought about that I've seen that I've loved this entire year, teams that are running the fucking ball absolutely win football games this year.
Yep.
Point blank, period. And I'm glad the NFL somewhat got back to that. That's why I think Saquon should have got the MVP. Of course, they're going to give it to Lamar Jackson. But
I still think Barkley's
that's the same thing I say. If Philly go in here and run the ball and they call a fair game, let me say that. And the witch don't interfere. The witch don't interfere.
Kyle said they ain't gonna happen.
The Pigeons will win the game.
Kyle said they ain't gonna happen. They ain't gonna Kyle, they ain't gonna happen.
John, just say that again. You said the who gonna win the game?
The
who?
Pigeons shall win the game if they can run the ball.
2 weeks from
that.
today, I will be joining Ando and Seven as an honorary Kansas City Chiefs fan.
You root for the witch, dude.
Hey, I got a shirt I'm getting made just for you, Kyle. It's gonna say I'm in my 3P era. I'm gonna send it just to you.
Look here. Okay, so let me ask you.
You got to give it to me first so I can sign it. We're all going to sign it. The three of us will sign it.
No, I gotta root for the Eagles because a Kansas City 3-peat is a Raiders fan's nightmare.
Dude, it's an entire AFC. You guys.
You guys should be more worried about signing an offense.
Seven.
Look, we all can't have Taylor Swift in our press box, man.
Hey, yo, we don't. We have Caitlin Clark too. Shut up. But still.
Dude's got more excuses. Dude's got more excuses than a baby daddy that can't pay his child support. What the fuck am I going to?
7. He's got more excuses than Angel Reese's has offensive rebounds.
And the Dragons say you could speak.
Dragon's not here. He's not in control no more, bro.
And she still look like Elliot Stable from Law and Order. I'm just saying.
My sister says you need to shut up with that, by the way. He looks nothing like him.
Wow. Ambrose has more excuses than Rob Manfred has bad ideas for baseball.
Yo, if Caitlin Clark slapped Peyton Manning with a paternity lawsuit, I'd believe it.
Wait, I'm so
Here's what I'm going to say, right?
Hold on, man.
I've been sitting here thinking about this all day, right? Everybody is talking about how the 3-peat for the Chiefs is the worst thing in football, how nobody's going to watch the Super Bowl. You guys realize that we are on the precipice of NFL history, right?
The what?
Let's go.
Precipice.
Let's go. What did I say?
No.
Look at
It's a Stephen A. Smith.
words.
It's a Stephen A. Smith
are
word.
not Stephen A. Smith, sir.
I just
Let
needed.
the uneducated white guy speak, all right? The uneducated white
I
boy
just
with his
needed some
precipice.
clarification.
All right, look,
Yeah.
check this out, right? Everybody hated the Lakers in the 2000s. Why? Because they dominated basketball. If you wanted to put your name on the basketball mountain, what did you do? You beat the fucking Lakers. In the 1990s, everybody hated the Bulls and Jordan. Why? Because they fucking won all the time. Same thing with the Dallas Cowboys. They won 3 out of 4.
But this is the difference is they're trying to disparage Tom Brady though, and I ain't feeling that. I hate Tom Brady.
And you should,
the one
right?
thing you can't do that. That's disrespectful.
Everybody hates Tom Brady and the Patriots because of that.
No, but what they're trying to say, Mahomes is better than Tom Brady.
Look at the
because he doesn't have to cheat.
Did Brady go?
Watch your mouth.
I knew that.
No. Do something about it.
And that's a baby.
But by this point in Brady's career, they already had Spygate.
Yep.
Because I worked the Super Bowl after that, and 150 fucking people that were busy putting the Super Bowl together had to leave the building for each walkthrough because of what Bill Belichick and the Patriots did the year before.
Well, we all can't have the
I was behind.
Dude, okay. Ambrose, the fact that you keep saying that the refs are involved, you realize that in over 70% of the games this year, the Chiefs were called for more penalties than the other teams were. The only thing that I will give you, and it is a very slight argument, is at the time that the penalties were called, they favored Kansas City in a more favorable position. That is the only argument really.
Where's the number 15?
Because apparently that's how many yards you get when you touch him.
Exactly.
I'm fucking done with that, dude. The fact of the matter is people, first off, people disparage Tom Brady. And you can't, over the course of his entire career, you cannot disparage Tom. It took me a while to admit that Tom Brady was the greatest quarterback to play in the NFL. But when you look at Brady's first 7 seasons versus Mahomes' 7 seasons, you cannot talk about Mahomes' first 7 seasons without being the only quarterback to make it to a championship.
Oh, is that what position he plays?
Each of the 7 seasons that he's played. Name another quarterback that's made it to 5 championship games in his first 7 seasons. Don't worry, I'll wait. Because it's Tom Brady. That's it.
I'm not
Joe Montana.
I'm not
Joe
going
Montana didn't make it to 5 NFC championship games in his first 7 seasons.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Look at this is the thing. We do this with basketball too. Look at the era of when each played. I literally watched Tom Brady get hit on a 7-minute video last night. Hit after
Tom
hit
Brady played a rougher game.
I'm not disagreeing that.
Yes. Now
I would agree with that.
This whole thing with the comparison and who got to this first and so on and so forth. At this point, they both tied at 3. They're at the same point in time. They're at 3. If the Chiefs 3-peat, they just fucking 3-peat. Tom Brady has 7 fucking rings and played in 10 fucking Super Bowls.
But it's 100%. They over here blaspheming it that bad. I couldn't stand Tom Brady, but at the end of the day,
I would also like to add that Tom Brady is a human being and Patrick Mahomes is a Muppet, which is why he doesn't get hurt.
Oh, Jesus.
But here's the thing that gets me, though.
Outside of the fact he talks like Kermit the Frog.
But here's the thing that gets me, though. And I posted a TikTok in our group chat earlier. I don't know if you saw it or not, 7. There's a Chiefs fan that's saying she's no longer supporting the Chiefs because of the actions of the ref.
Here's the thing, and I got into a debate with somebody last night. Y'all know Rice Hendricks, the guy that does the weird bars and the the gangster rap videos. Like, first of all, I love that guy's one of my favorite channels, and he's a Bills fan. And I commented before on a post of his before the game. I hope for a good, clean game. My prediction: 24-21 Chiefs. Okay. Somebody asked me in the comments after, and what I said was, I get why people debate that catch from Xavier Worthy because of the ball touching the ground. But I'm also going to say, if it was your team catching that ball, you're going to defend that kick. You're going to defend that catch 9 times out of 10 until you're fucking purple in the face. Okay. Number 2, the 4th down and 1. Yes, Josh Allen crossed that line just fucking barely. I will give you that. I could see it in a couple of different angles. I thought in the moment, in the play, he had it. So I can't argue with that. I don't see a reason why. The NFL has to get better at that. And then, but also, Josh Allen, they need to find another play for 4th down because the tush push is not getting it there. Kansas City stopped it every time yesterday.
When the announcers
time.
When the announcers can tell you where you're running with the football, you need to change it up.
But
you need to.
Tony Romo does that to everybody.
He does.
What Will was saying
He's psychic.
But they were talking about after the game that Travis Kelce was talking about in production meetings earlier last week that they knew Josh Allen would go left.
What were you saying? What were you saying, Kyle?
No, but the craziest part was somebody that's a fan saying they're tired of the Chiefs. I don't think it's the Chiefs they're tired of. I think what it is they're tired of the sports world. You have sports media, and then you have fans. You have sports media who will defend it. Look, it's not the refs, but then you have fans constantly saying, oh, the refs are doing this, the refs are doing that. That's the thing. You can't be that easily manipulated. At one point in time, people were sitting here running around saying Russell Wilson was washed. That's what they were saying. Russell Wilson was washed past 2 seasons. Goes and balls a little bit, pause, for the Steelers.
And now Pete Carroll coming back.
Yeah, so that's the thing.
Come on over, Russell.
I don't let the whole of what everybody else says dictate what's going on in the game. Do they get calls? Yes. Tom Brady got calls. Peyton Manning got calls. Aaron Rodgers is the master of making you jump off fucking sides and throwing the ball down the fucking field.
True.
He gets the flag every time. So it's like at the end of the day, fans are going to nitpick and pick this. My mom said something because she doesn't follow sports like that. She said this twice now. She said she's tired. At one point in time, she was tired of Tom Brady going to the Super Bowl. That's what she said. Let somebody else fucking win. I said, Mom, tell somebody else to beat him.
Thank you.
Now she said the same thing about
Eli Manning showed up in a cape.
He just said that shit about Patrick Mahomes. I'm kind of tired of seeing the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. Nah, somebody got to beat him. They got to beat him. Somebody got to fucking beat him. That's simple.
To be the best, you got to beat the best.
That's it.
All right, Stallone.
Let me ask y'all a question. So we're done talking about the Eagles and Commanders game. Let me ask y'all a question. Zero, I'll start with you. The Eagles stand a chance in this game?
You asking me?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You know what?
Outside of your pity.
No, first of all, Casey, you drinking lemon water? What you doing? No, like in fact, I think Casey
That's
said
that Philadelphia water, Kyle.
Here they have a good chance anyway. Like, yes, you did. If the refs do not interfere,
they have a shot. They do have a shot.
They have a chance to win. If Jalen, well, my fear was that they were gonna put a lot of blame on Jalen and be like, well, they gonna basically like mass criticize him. He was like, no, if he has been consistent and play a good game without just throwing hella picks or pick sixes or whatever, he should be good. But I think there's a good chance.
If Saquon can go off for 120, he can get like $120, right? Saquon can get his yards, but if they can't do shit in the passing game, they're not winning.
I will say this. This game is a little deceiving because while you look at the two offenses on the field, you also have to look at the fact that you have 2 out of the 4 best defenses in the league out there. I think the Chiefs were 2 and the Eagles were 4. So you do have 2 of the best defenses going at it in this game too.
So what y'all think the margin for like the difference for the game is gonna be like a touchdown,
It'll be a one-score game.
In my opinion, I'm going to be serious for a moment and speak objectively.
You can do that?
I can. Hey, where do you get those backwards hats? All mine point forward. Anyway.
Just turn them. It's kind of like
your
the
mirror
Raiders
appreciates.
2002. They just turned it.
That was a good one, 7th grade. Anyway, speaking objectively, if the Giants can beat that 16-0 Patriots team that was destined for greatness to be the first undefeated team since the Dolphins, if they can get it together and then they can come back and get it together and beat the Patriots again, I think they're the only two teams that beat Tom Brady. I think they cost him 2 rings.
Eagles the other one that cost him a ring.
I don't think anyone else beat him.
Philly.
Eagles beat him once.
Nick Foles beat him.
Oh, the Eagles beat him once. That's right. Okay.
Nick Foles beat him.
But, I mean, anything's really possible in the Super Bowl if you come along with the right game plan. And I think the Eagles.
Or the electric.
I think they got a good shot.
Turn off the lights in the Super Bowl,
7, I'm going to ask you this. With the way that the Chiefs have stopped all of the top runners this year, because Derrick Henry to open up the season didn't get 100 yards. Joe Mixon to end the season.
They didn't give Derrick Henry the ball enough.
No, you're right. You're right.
They changed that. That's what I've been talking about.
Philadelphia is going. If Philadelphia wants to win, they are going to run the ball down Kansas City's throat. The problem is
they have to.
That is the only way Philadelphia wins is if they control the clock and if they give the ball to Saquon. That is the only way that they win.
Y'all have a lot of speed.
No better.
The Chiefs have a lot of speed on offense. Now I will say this: DeAndre Hopkins don't even need to play.
No, I'm gonna take it a step further.
He's red zone opportunity only.
Yeah.
Well, what
he's got his ring. He's got his ring. He doesn't need it. Yes, he'll get his ring either way. So, Kansas City can win this game, but Philly can win this game.
Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's Philly earned their way to this title. We have talked so much shit on Philly this year because of how fucking bad they looked through multiple parts of this season.
Mm-hmm.
But every time they look bad, they clean it up.
Yep.
They get there. They get it done. Just like Kansas City. Every time it looked like they were not in the position to keep it going, they cleaned it up and they got it done. This is going to be a solid game. Am I rooting for Kansas City? Yeah. Am I going to be surprised if Philly wins? No. Do I hope that Kyle's house remains safe if Philly wins? Of course I do.
Yeah, piggybacking off of that, I think honestly, Kansas City, when you look at it on paper, they're the better team. And they should win the game.
I don't know about all that.
But Philly has battled it out. And it's kind of like a hockey.
I think Philly has a better running game. And I think Philly's receivers are better.
I got to agree with Will. And their defense is highly underrated.
The only advantage I really see KC having against the Eagles, and that's close too, Travis Kelce.
Great cereal, by the way. Has anyone ever?
That's because we can't disrespect Dallas Goedert.
Nope.
But here's the thing. Here's what it's going to come down to. This game is going to come down to quarterbacks. Who are you going to trust? A back-to-back Super Bowl winner or an Alabama quarterback that has already blown it in the Super Bowl against this very team once?
If he could hand it to Saquon Barkley now, all bets are off.
Listen, but it brings up a good point, guys, because this is a different Eagles offense than what they played the first time around in the Super Bowl.
Agreed.
Who was the running back for Philly when they went to the Super Bowl last time? Does anybody remember?
I know Kenneth Gainwell was on it, but I know Miles Sanders.
It was Miles Sanders.
Philly goes through running backs like I go through cigarettes, man.
Okay, I think it was Miles Sanders. Okay,
I'll double check that, man.
If you could, please, I want to make sure because is it possible that Saquon makes a difference? Absolutely, Saquon makes a difference just by stepping on the fucking field. Saquon should be MVP. And I don't think it's hard to dispute that because Philly isn't in this game without Saquon.
That's hella
And
true.
I think he's got a chip on his shoulder because how he was done in New York. I think he really wants.
Yeah, absolutely. You should.
Yeah,
he's
Pro Bowl running back Miles Sanders ranked 5th in the NFL with 1269 yards for the Eagles going into Super Bowl 57. So it was Miles
and how y'all think the Giants feel right now?
Stupid. They feel dumb.
Really?
They're gonna feel dumb whether they had Saquon or not.
I mean, yeah.
They still wasn't gonna win shit.
Well, let me tell you this. All New York looking kind of bad for football teams. The Jets and the Giants. It's looking kind of a mess.
Garbage.
I mean, I think for the foreseeable future, the NFC East for a long time was the best division in football. But I think in the immediate future, Washington surprised me. I don't think they're going to go anywhere. As far as being good goes, I think they're going to be a perennial playoff contender. As be them and Philly and the Giants and Cowboys, it's going to be like a really polar opposites. Like the Giants and Cowboys are going to be battling for last place for at least the next 3 seasons.
Here's an interesting question because I kind of tried to start this conversation last night in our chat.
It was Rob Manfred.
Should Sean McDermott or Joe Brady be fired for that game yesterday because of the play call?
If you got to put the blame on anybody, it has to be on McDermott. It has to. But
I wouldn't say
those decisions to leave the points on the board is just killing me right now.
I wouldn't fire. I wouldn't fire. But
the argument that I was listening to talk. Go ahead, Ambrose.
I'm sorry. I started to jump over you, Ando. From a pragmatic point of view, it's been a while since I've been on the show. I don't mean to cut you off. I'm out of practice. From a pragmatic point of view, you got further than the other 14 teams in your conference. You didn't get the gold ring, but are you really going to fire someone? That's still a damn good performance.
And who do you get to replace him? That's the bigger question. Who do you get to replace Sean McDermott?
There's nobody out there.
Well, and here's the thing, and this is where I think Joe Brady becoming a scapegoat becomes a possibility. And the reason why is because you have all of those tush pushes yesterday. There was no misdirect, just like we talked about. There was no direction change. Everybody and their uncle knew what was coming. Stevie Wonder could see he was going left. That's the situation that we were looking at yesterday. That falls on your offensive coordinator.
Yep.
I think Joe Brady's gone anyway. Because with the coaching changes that's coming around.
Oh, that's right.
For head coach, I think he's done anyway.
Oh, you know what? I hadn't even thought about that. Okay.
I just don't like when you see you still made it to the NFC or AFC championship.
Right. But
I don't think that firing is warranted. That's a great end to the season.
Buffalo's bar has to be higher because they have Josh Allen.
So
I
do you
see
fire
that's what you're saying, and if you lose in the wild card or you lose in the divisional, I'd be inclined to agree with you more. But if you field goal away from making it, I don't know. I'd have to think long and hard before I fire.
And Ando, to answer your question, Todd Monken should have already been fired for the play calling by the Ravens.
I'm glad you picked up on that. But my argument was going to be, would you fire John Harbaugh because he didn't make it to the AFC Championship game last year? He made it to the AFC Championship game last year.
Again, they went with the whole Mike Tomlin thing. Should they let Tomlin go? Should they do this? Harbaugh should not be exempt. They ain't won a Super Bowl since Ray Lewis was on the field.
Yep.
And I agree. There has to be certain levels of.
There has to at least be scrutiny. There has to be scrutiny, and there needs to be some kind of accountability.
Yep.
I am totally okay. When the Cowboys lost to the Packers, if they would have fired Mike McCarthy that year, 3 straight years of 12-5, and you can't make it to the divisional round, yes, at that point, push him out. But the argument that I'm making with McDermott, and maybe to an extent Joe Barry, because I only feel like Joe Barry's been there a year, maybe 2, because I know Ken Dorsey was the offensive coordinator before, so it's like a year and a half maybe. But to put Joe Barry as a scapegoat,
Joe Brady as a scapegoat.
Again, what options, especially this late into this early / late into the offseason where head coaching positions have already been filled up? I mean, for fuck's sakes, look at the Cowboys. They hire Brian Schottenheimer.
That's because nobody wants to go to the fucking Cowboys.
That's
That's a horrible example.
And he thought he was hard and Marty Sean.
Oh, man.
That is
One at a
the
time, guys.
argument-
One at a time.
That is the argument that I'm making. By firing either Sean McDermott or Joe Brady, what piece do you put in and say our offense still has the opportunity to perform at the same or better production than we had this year? I don't think you do. You reevaluate your offensive pieces. You take a look. This is what Josh had. Maybe a left guard is what we need if we're going to keep running it to the left side. I'm hoping to God Sean McDermott watches 4 of those fucking tush pushes and goes, you know what? Let's change it up next year and run it to the right instead of the left so everybody knows what we're doing. It is
Josh Allen
and again, being a Chiefs fan, I'm okay with beating Buffalo, and I feel bad for the Buffalo faithful who have to keep going through this each and every year. But to blow up your head coach and or your offensive coordinator because you lost the game by 3 points that you should have won, I think it is an immense oversight, and I think you're blowing it out of proportion. Buffalo,
You go first, Tony.
What does it say? Okay, so I work in sales, okay? And sales is a very number-driven job.
Mm-hmm.
If you've never worked in sales, it's a very number-driven job. Somebody in sales doesn't get fired for missing numbers 1 month unless it's a shitty company.
Agreed.
But if I miss my numbers for 6 straight months in a row, and then my boss says, "Hey, this ain't working. We gotta move on." First of all, it wasn't a surprise because there's been multiple conversations about the flaws and the things that are missing and the fact that I'm not closing. Okay? Sean McDermott is not closing. The bar is being able to beat Patrick Mahomes when it matters. If you poll 10,000 Buffalo fans and say, would you rather beat Patrick Mahomes in the regular season or Patrick Mahomes in January, they're all gonna tell you January.
Yep.
And that's it. That's the thing, is he can't close, and that's where the question has to come from.
So I gotta ask, because when Bill Parcells coached the Jets, and the Jets were actually a football team and not whatever the hell they're calling themselves now.
Helicopters.
They got beat to death by the Denver Broncos. They could not beat John Elway. One was in an AFC championship where they lost
34-16.
34-16.
Yeah, 34-16. I think it was 98.
It was the last year. It was the last year Elway won.
Yep, because it was the year the Broncos beat the Falcons 34-19 in Super Bowl 33.
So do you fire Bill Belichick?
Bill Parcells?
No. Bill Belichick was a coordinator. Do you fire your defensive coordinator for not being able to figure out John Elway? Do you fire Bill Belichick?
But it's not about one game. This is the part that I'm saying. It's not about one game. Sean McDermott has lost 4 playoff games in a row.
4 out of 5
to Patrick Mahomes.
To the same person, so he ain't figured out the formula.
Then that's the thing. He's not cracking the safe. You can't be a good bank robber if you don't know how to get into the safe and get the money.
So
that's like Ryan. That's almost like Ryan Day not beating Michigan.
He wasn't fired as a head coach for losing 4 Super Bowls.
He did win.
Do
I
you
wasn't
still
here
think
last
that they would fire him or no? I think they would keep him. Mike Tomlin, low-key got a little it seems like he got something on people. I feel like he would stay. They would be like, all right, bro.
Hey, they were in the news.
Likes you, so.
You said he blackmailed.
They were in the news today too. Rooney said he prefers the Steelers keep Wilson over Fields. I saw that today.
That is fucking dumb, dude.
I think Wilson's going to the Raiders.
Actually, Fields goes to the Raiders. He's younger. Pete Carroll, and he's more moldable. Pete Carroll traded Russell Wilson because he had given up on him and he knew that he wasn't going to be elite. Pete Carroll doesn't want Russell Wilson.
Now he learned his lesson.
Wait. Okay, so question in the room. Everybody agree with that? You think that Pete Carroll literally gave up on him? Was like, all right, man, that's it for you.
If the quarterback doesn't want to change, you absolutely give up on the quarterback.
I mean, but you can't change when you're fucking lying. I'm playing for y'all. My line still ass.
I think
I'm more on KC side just because it's just like that was his golden child. Like they literally, Pete Carroll literally gave up a Super Bowl to put everything on the line for him. So that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you mean?
Here's my argument to that.
Look,
right?
I think Sierra's going to take up a residency in Vegas. I think Russell Wilson is going to sign with the team. It's going to be good for everyone all around.
Wow.
First off, Wilson is going to be dumb if he goes to the Vegas Raiders. First off, the Vegas Raiders do not have an offensive line. Let's start there. They don't have any weapons offensively. Nope. Let's hit that as well. Brock Bowers is about the only player that they got. Right?
Absolutely.
So you are asking a 37-year-old quarterback who cannot move the way he used to, who has no weapons to throw to, minus Brock Bowers, who has no running game to take.
Hold on. Why are you going to sit here and disrespect Jacoby Myers like that? Hold on.
They might, listen, I think Pete
and
might
like Jim Plunkett didn't do it.
Pete,
I ain't gonna disrespect Jacoby Myers like that. Come on, man.
I wouldn't be surprised if Pete goes and gets DK Metcalf.
I won't be surprised neither.
They want him gone. They don't want him in Seattle no more. I wouldn't be surprised.
First off, Seattle is retarded by now. I'm sorry. That is inappropriate for me to say. I apologize.
Yes, you're not allowed to say it. I was holding off.
Seattle is asinine. By not keeping Metcalf. You open up so much more of your receiver options by keeping Metcalf in Seattle. Now, if Metcalf
I'm gonna have to do so much fucking paperwork.
I'm sorry.
HR boy, he the head of HR.
Look, and seven. You saw me try to grab it as it's coming out of my mouth. I tried.
Yeah,
oh my God! Why? There's so many jokes. There's so many jokes.
Whoa. You to say something like that.
You tried to.
I'm sorry, Stephen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Stephen. But no,
shit.
Lord have mercy.
Even if you bring DK Metcalf
to the Raiders,
that's awful. You still do not have enough.
It's terrible.
Yeah,
look, Wilson.
I'm so happy to be back.
It's terrible. You know what? No, my only issue, and Ando, I'm gonna challenge what you just said. I'm gonna challenge that a little bit.
Please don't. We're already in enough trouble.
My only issue is this. I get it.
That was diabolical.
You have a young star in Jackson Smith and Jibba.
Agreed.
Over there and said he came out. He came out this year.
I agree.
So that might be the reason why you get rid of DK.
Or you keep both receivers on the field, and now you need two number one corners to have a shot to stop you.
Here's the problem, because would it be great with DK Metcalf going to Seattle, and then you have Russell Wilson. You get a few other pieces. You get an offensive line. You use those draft picks. You get an offensive line.
Are you talking about Vegas or not Seattle?
For
Seattle.
Vegas. For Vegas.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, get decaf out of Seattle. Okay?
Decaf.
Decaf.
Okay.
You know what? Yeah, that's what I'm calling. Fuck it. I'm calling it. I'm leaning into that. I'm calling it decaf. You get decaf in Vegas and you put a few other pieces around there. You're going to have to, but the problem is, and this is the problem that Vegas is going to have no matter what they do, whether it's Fields or Wilson or DK or a combination of the three. You have only a few draft picks and a very bad reputation.
Oh, that damn! I was going to ask him a question.
When you're going to have to trade draft cap. Because it's not like the Raiders are stacked with players that want.
Whoa. Sorry.
God, Dan, just get in here.
He's better than LeBron. You know what happened to
the trade capital that Vegas doesn't have trade capital. That's the problem. And so how do you solve that when you don't have trade capital? And while you may have the cap room to be able to pay a few people, nobody wants to come.
By not having an owner who drives around a van with a VCR in it.
Mark Davis isn't allowed within 500 feet of a single Las Vegas school.
No, he's not.
Mark Davis definitely has shag carpet in his car.
Mark Davis, I'm serious. He drives a van.
Oh my goodness!
It's got like the old shitbox TV.
Oh my goodness!
And a VCR attached to it.
There's some what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right, what I want to do because we all know. Let's go
Looks like
ahead.
the acne kid from The Simpsons.
Let's go ahead and give our early Super Bowl picks right now. I don't know why I'm doing this, but 7, I'm gonna start with you. I know where you going, but I'm gonna start with you.
Wait, for next year or this year?
This year. Kansas City 34-31. It's gonna be a scoring game.
I'm gonna
And,
go
High scoring game.
I'm gonna go Kansas City 37-31.
Zoe.
Eagles. 28. Listen. Eagles 28.
Don't disrespect the Chiefs.
Beware the wrath of Taylor Swift.
Yep.
Eagles 28.
Taylor
Yeah,
Swift.
she'll throw cats at you.
Anybody damn worry about no Taylor Swift.
No, but
I'm sorry. How many
What you gonna do?
Chiefs won? How many
What
Super
about
Bowls?
Phil?
What you gonna do? Come up with that little sad song? I broke up with her. Nobody worry about no Taylor
Okay.
Swift.
Look, and go bad mouth her one day. You see that cat walking around? No, she took it from him.
I saw 6 cats in the place I live in, Ambrose. I think I'm okay on cats. And
So
if Taylor
what did you
Swift
say?
And if Taylor Swift wants one to help the Chiefs win, by God, I'm giving up Mouse. Mouse can go and hang out with Taylor Swift. So what'd you say the score was?
I said third. Well, okay. Let's make it. I just want them to win by a field goal. So
33-30.
20.
31-28.
You said 28-25?
No. Make it 24. 24-21.
Oh, she got a low. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, low scoring game.
Like I say, you got 2 of the best defenses in the league playing. John, what you got?
I'm going against my better judgment, against the witch. I'm going Pigeons.
That's what I'm talking about, John. That's what I'm talking about. Yes.
Gonna be like 34-28.
Oh, that's kind of high. Okay.
They gonna run the ball.
I'm gonna go to Chiefs 36-30.
Let's go.
Ambrose.
I don't know why you're saying it's going to score so high. I think it's going to be a showcase of defenses. I picked the Eagles 17-14.
Eagles.
He just used small numbers because he can't count that high.
The only thing I can count on is your mother, you loggerhead.
So wait, me, John, and Ambrose pick Eagles, right?
Yep.
And you pick KC, right? Because you
pick KC.
Okay, I know. I'm just making sure. Willie, what's up?
Look, I know I got this parental advisory block over my head over here. Here, I'll scoot over here.
No, we can see you. We can see you.
Oh, that's for legal reasons.
Oh yeah, no, but I got like 4 Kansas City hats up there now. So
I'm just trying to make sure we don't get fined.
Before you jump to the next thing, I have an assessment.
Go ahead.
If Josh Allen loses one more time in the playoffs, it is safe to say he is the new Phillip Rivers.
Oh,
it's the new
Phillip Rivers.
He'll be the new Phillip Rivers.
As far as I'm concerned, him and Lamar Jackson in the same boat.
Yeah, Phillip Rivers, Warren Moon.
Hell, you can put Burrow, Allen.
I can hear it.
No, you can put Burrow, Allen, and Mahomes, or Burrow, Allen, and Jackson all in the same.
Donovan McNabb.
Burrow is Eli.
Eli 1-2. You can't put him like that. You could do Dan Marino.
He got there.
You could do Dan Marino for Joe Burrow because he's putting up 4,000 yards and not making the playoffs.
Dan Marino.
All right, I'll give you that.
Okay.
So did Joe Burrow.
Yeah, Dan Marino made it to a Super Bowl in his second season, same as Joe Burrow.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, that is correct. All right. A couple of things I did want to touch on before we get out of here. The brass have been non-committal on Aaron Rodgers' status, I should say. You guys think he's coming back to the Jets?
I don't know. When does Madden come out?
Damn.
August.
Yeah, he going back to the Jets for 1 more year.
I don't think so. I think
brought all these other damn players over here for him. He showed up.
Made too much, he done did too much damage.
Look, if GM Aaron Rodgers wants to play in New York, GM Aaron Rodgers is going to play in New York.
Hold up, Sammy, you got a fade?
No, he just shaved it all off.
Sammy, you got a fade?
Everybody be looking at the camera.
Put your
I
head
think
down like
it's going
this.
to depend on the Jets.
Oh no,
draft.
it's okay. Hold on, I would clarify. This is not a fade. I just shaved my head because I got sick of it being so goddamn long. I normally do get a fade. I just didn't want to go to the barbershop.
Okay.
Oh my God, you look like a little kid with a fake beard on.
You look like a fat Walter
Okay.
White.
Wait.
Calm down,
Whoa.
Wish Fartley.
Wait. Hold on. Wait, he does. Seven, you
What do you call me,
do
Wish
look like
Farley?
you're disguising on the Little Rascals, man. You do like a little bit.
I was gonna say he looks like a pudgier version of Walter White.
Yeah.
Like dress him up in white and whitey tidies. They think he's Walter White.
Like,
Say my
what's your
goddamn
account number?
name.
7.
Seven.
I'm staying out of it.
Okay.
Me too.
Wish Farley, why don't you go eat some breakfast?
You know what? I'll be the Walmart Chris Farley, little kid.
No, Wish Farley. You weren't even Walmart quality.
Ooh,
Wish Farley.
Wish Farley.
Just remember
I
to live
like
in your
it.
minivan down by the river.
I like
I gotta say this though real quick. I'm going with the Eagles, 31-24.
That's my boy. Good job, Willie.
We're going with the
That was the right
31-24. I'm tired of
I know
this.
that's
I'm
right.
tired of this.
I know that's
Never
right.
lost.
But you
I'm
just
sick,
did it because
never
of
lost.
Phil. You tired of her.
Hey,
That's the only
hey.
reason you picked
Never.
her.
Never lost. The Eagles just lost 2 years ago
Yeah.
to the Chiefs.
They'll be all right.
Never lost to the Eagles in the play or in the
They'll be
And
all
they
right.
don't even have Jason Kelsey this time to
be
hopefully
all right.
get a little bit of the Taylor Swift juju magic.
Yep.
You know, man.
I mean,
Nick Sirianni.
Kylie Kelsey ain't going to be out there lecturing those players to get their shit together like she was 2 years ago. And that woman scares the hell out of me.
Oh,
So,
dude, I would let her
they
do
all?
horrible things to me, dude.
I mean, look, if I
Wait,
found out
what?
she was a dominatrix, I would be okay. But
Absolutely. Oh, by the way, is Nick Sirianni going to cry during this anthem this year?
Nick Sirianni cries at the thought of having to deal with Patrick Mahomes and Steve Spagnuolo again.
And he uses his tears as lotion while jerking off to Patrick Mahomes highlights.
Whoa.
All right, on that note, we got some bills that we need to pay.
Whoa.
On that note, we got some bills we need to pay. Let me go ahead and
Yeah,
kick everybody down.
Oh, man.
We got some bills we need to
Ando,
pay. Give me one
you gotta
moment.
go
We'll
talk
be
to
right
HR.
back, guys.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Football season is here, and SeatGeek is my go-to for buying tickets. Now with SeatGeek, every single ticket is backed with their buyer guarantee. We've all had plans change, and when you can't make it to the big game, SeatGeek has you covered. They're the only ticketer that allows you to return your tickets ahead of the event for credit with SeatGeek swaps. So when things come up, I know that my tickets won't go to waste. So what are you waiting for? Download the SeatGeek app to maximize your possibilities and shop live events with confidence.
National Streaming Sports is brought to you in part by BetUs.com, designed for true fans. NFL odds, Week 1 and futures, college football odds, including Heisman Trophy favorites and playoff odds, NBA odds of division winners and playoffs, Major League Baseball playoff and World Series odds, the National Hockey League Conference playoffs and Stanley Cup odds, and boxing wagers. Betting opportunities include versus the spreads and outright winners, also during the game. Use our link on our website, nessp.info, the Bet Us Opportunities webpage, for a 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits. Must be 21 years old, and remember, bet responsibly.
All right, let's go ahead and bring everybody back in.
So I just want to say before we move on, my sister just texted me from the living room saying that she wishes she could beat Nick Sirianni with the chair at any point during the Super Bowl. So I'm okay with that. I endorse that.
Yo, you stressed my man off so bad he moved out of center square.
Yep.
Yeah, no. He's now between the two parents so that we can watch him closer.
Usually me.
Make a difference. I'm just going to get in more trouble. You guys just know that, right?
All right, real quick. I do want to, before we go over to baseball real quick, I did want to go ahead and talk about Jimmy Butler. As he's been suspended indefinitely for the third time.
See if he predict that Jimmy gonna go to the Lakers. Because
no, he's not gonna go to the Lakers. The Lakers aren't gonna give up.
I was saying it as a troll though, because at this point, like it's unheard of where a player within a month weasel him way out to basically get like you piss people off so badly, they're like, oh no, we gonna kick you out. You're indefinitely suspended forever.
No.
Jimmy Butler is the level of toxic that everybody thought James Harden was.
Yep. Without the strip club.
Harden was never toxic.
Right. I'm not saying I never said he was. I never said. But there were no, what I'm saying is because when James Harden kept wanting to get out of teams, there were a lot of people that were saying certain things about him and trying to make it up like he was the problem. Jimmy Butler is the problem.
I don't think it's a problem. The problem is Pat Riley. Everybody has issue with him. There's a common denominator. When LeBron left, well, all these people left. Even Dwayne Wade had problems with him. Pat Riley is the problem. I don't know what it is, but he be alienating and making players pissed off.
I think the problem is Pat Riley comes from an older
generation.
And I mean, I'm not knocking on Pat Riley. Pat Riley's a great coach. He did a lot with the Knicks. He was the Showtime Lakers.
Yep.
But there comes a time where the game passes you by.
Yep.
And I don't think he can relate to. I don't think he can relate to today's players.
Yep.
The way he related to like Pat Ewing and the way he related to Magic Johnson and
no. Jerry and Pat kind of sit in that same spot on the plane where they think they still have massive control of their organizations. They only have it by title at this point. Pat Riley, just all due respect, you have all your rings as the coach with the Showtime Lakers. You have your your 3 with the Heat. Sail off into the sunset, man. I would say promote Spoelstra, make him the new GM and owner, run it from there.
But I think Spoelstra likes coaching.
Okay.
I think Spoelstra is where he needs to be. I don't think Spoelstra needs to be a GM. They can bring in a solid GM to like I mean if Dwayne Wade's got a lot going on right now, so maybe he's not the best choice. But
what?
Bring in Chris Birdman. There we go.
We ain't going there, Seven. We ain't going there, sir.
I'm trying not to. I promise I'm trying not to.
Anything since a different world went off the air.
But Dwayne Wade's done a lot of things since different world went off the air, but he didn't do some research.
Jimmy Butler is not Michael Jordan's son. Michael Jordan wins, remember?
But for the Heat, if it's Jimmy Butler that's the problem, you're going to have a problem getting him out of there because if it's really him that's the issue, nobody's going to want him. Matt Ishbia, owner of the Suns, will spend money on whoever will make them win. He has flat out said it. He's the Steve Cohen of the NBA. And if he's not going, let me get in on this. And it might be a capital issue. I don't know, as far as trade capital is concerned or, buyouts or whatever. But if Jimmy's the problem, you got to get him out of there, but nobody's going to want him. And you're not just going to send Pat Riley home. You're not going to fire your GM when you're. Well, Ando was talking about numbers before the game. They're what, 8th? They're only 4 games back of being in 4th place.
4.5 games back of the 4th place.
We'll take Jimmy and get rid of. Yeah, they'll make.
I think the one constant in sports.
Casey, why you made that face? You
I think the one constant.
Hey, if she wants to take Jimmy, let her. Let her get Jimmy all up if she wants to.
Roster space. That's what I was trying to say. But Casey, that face you made was so stink. Yo, you gotta chill.
Look, you're the one that said you needed a roster spot filled up with Jimmy's. So look, it's how you say it.
I think the one constant in sports is always if they can help me win, I'll do it. I mean, Latrell Sprewell choked a dude.
Well, what was it?
Practice. And he's still.
He choked the coach. Not even
he choked his coach.
What was it? What was it Shannon Sharp used to say on Undisputed? Tolerance.
Sure.
Well, that too, but it was tolerance. It was the tolerance versus results. If you're getting results, how much we're going to tolerate your BS is going to go up because you're winning games.
Yep.
But if you aren't winning,
now what do we do with results around here?
We look beyond
the
results. We look beyond the results. That's what we do here.
No. Only in New Orleans do you look past the results. And it goes for the Pelicans too, because they should have results with Zion Williams, and Zion Williamson keeps eating ice cream like he does
can go to the
injuries.
Pelicans. He definitely can go to the Pelicans.
And whoa, Dan, no, PJ, nobody deserves to get choked out. Then that would mean that everybody that Draymond Green choked out deserved it, and that's not true.
No, Doc Rivers do. No, I wish.
Doc Rivers does.
Imagine
you see that dude's face when he won the tournament.
Oh my God! Imagine if he did that. I'd be so happy. That'd be like
almost made it.
That'd be like my second favorite day of NBA ever.
Why are we going to Doc Rivers?
That's what it is.
Oh
Because
my
he's
gosh.
a bum. Will, he is a bum.
So let me ask you a question. If Drake, and this is probably your dream scenario right here, so.
Shit.
If Draymond Green choked out Doc Rivers.
I was just thinking that shit.
You know what?
That's your
Wilson
dream
would come
scenario,
in
ain't it?
I'm gonna have to stick beside him.
So does this mean we need a boat?
Like, listen, Draymond did that.
So do we need to get you a paddle boat over there? If that happens, are we going to need to get you a paddle boat?
Just put some towels on the floor for her. She'll be fine.
Okay. I'm worried about her slipping on her hardwood floors, man.
Anyhow.
Don't forget to call State Farm for your insurance. Make sure it's water covered.
Doc Rivers probably
on
has
the show.
If Doc Rivers had that happen,
Jimmy
like,
left.
yeah, his voice already
Go ahead.
trash. He wouldn't be
Is
able
that
to
why
even
his eyes always look like they're bulging out of his head? Is because the hookers took advantage of him?
That's why it sounds
No,
like
it's because it's the bill he gets for all the extraneous requests.
No, KC the one that be saying Doc Rivers' voice ashy. So how the heck you gonna speak after you get choked the hell out?
Voice ashy as shit.
He looks like he gets the Bart Simpson treatment, like they're just choking his eyes.
He was born in the desert.
Oh no.
All right, real quick before we finish up, I do want to go over the 7, see what baseball news 7 got. If any.
We got less than 20 days until pitchers about 20 days until pitchers and catchers start reporting. There's still a couple of big name players that have not signed yet. The biggest name right now that has not signed is Alex Bregman. The Dodgers don't need him, so somebody else will actually sign him. Right now, reports are saying that the Astros have the lead. Their offer is like 6 for $156. Boston.
That makes sense because Astros got cap space.
Well, honestly, with the fact that baseball doesn't cap, it doesn't matter. It's the Astros need a solid third baseman. They need Bregman's bat. The issue is he wants a long-term deal, and he's already 31. So that's kind of been the battle with what he's got going on. Outside of that, right now, baseball's just getting ready to go. I've been talking with my co-host for our baseball podcast name Deferred. We didn't want to pick a podcast name, so we decided to take a page out of the Dodgers book, and we deferred the podcast name decision to 2034. But we are going to be bringing that back probably mid-March. Last couple of weeks of spring training and the rosters start to tighten up.
One piece of news, 7.
Hey, 7. Would you say that the free agency, like the lack of signings, with Alex Bregman holding out, and I think Pete Alonso is still out there?
Yep.
Yeah, he is.
Would you say that Juan Soto's signing artificially pumped the numbers up, and that's why a lot of these guys aren't getting signed? Because these guys can actually feel the ball.
No, and what it is, I think this is because when the anybody else outside of the Mets organization knows that the Mets overpaid for Juan Soto.
Big time.
I think the Mets had to sell off 2 minor league teams.
It's when you look at the closest thing that I can compare it to is a few years ago when there was a big competition for Xander Bogaerts. He was a shortstop of the Red Sox. He became a free agent. He was at that point the biggest free agent on the market as far as his position was concerned. And it looked like it was a close race for him to come back to Boston, a couple of things. And then all of a sudden the Padres swoop in and sign him on a very inflated, overpaid deal. And everybody stepped back and was like, yeah, no, he wasn't worth that. So his contract was such an outlier for the scenario that it didn't impact the market the way it would. Like if Bregman had signed first, Bregman impacts the market because Bregman's deal is a little bit more normal as far as baseball players are concerned, even if he is going to get overpaid for a 31-year-old baseball player. It impacts the market.
So the situation is more like when the Yankees signed Danny Tartabull and everyone was like, okay, do that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Hey, look, I paid $700 for this bag you could have gotten at Walmart for $20. Everybody's like, why? Like what was that Payless Shoes commercial where they designed a bunch of their $20 shoes and put them in a store in New York City?
Yeah, I remember that.
And said they were charging them like $700 to $1,000 a pair. And everyone's like, oh, I'll come pay him. Influencers going in, oh, I'll come pay it. And they're like, oh, hey, no, this is just a $20 pair of shoes. That's what happened with Juan Soto. He was a $700 pair of shoes that was only worth that. He's
going to make like $5 million per dropped fly ball.
The actual, I think once he signs, Alonso will sign, but his deal is he wants more of a long-term deal, and he's 31. So a lot of the teams that are interested in him outside of the Astros that, that's a shitty organization because nobody wants to actually go to the city of Houston.
I think the one team aside from the Astros that would probably gamble on a 31-year-old would be the Nationals because they need something. They need something.
Boston is in the mix, but they won't go above 4. I think they've discussed the possibility of 5 years with certain concessions, but Boston is in the mix. Philly is in the mix on him as well. They're also taking a look. I saw that they were looking at Alonso as well for something. So I'm
willing to say that either Alonso or Bregman ends up in Washington
with the Nationals.
Yeah, because they have cap space and they need something.
I'll still say Alonso ends up with the Braves.
No,
I don't think he goes to the Braves.
No, the Braves are too well rounded. They don't need him.
Only if they get hurt again.
Well, but Alonso will be signed, but by the time they start having injury problems,
injuries.
It's hard to predict. I would love for Alonso to come to Boston, but I don't think it's going to happen. I do think Alonso is the one that ends up in Washington. I know the Mets have still said they want to bring Alonso back. I don't know which concession stand workers you're going to fire to pay Alonso, but
I sold my house. I can afford you again.
It's that fuck. I could go on a rant when we do the baseball podcast. I'll go on a rant about what the Mets have done because that's just the way that the Mets fucked Pete Alonso throughout his career is just
crazy, man.
But the competition for Bregman, honestly, I think he signs this week because, like I said, we're less than a month out from pitchers and catchers reporting. 2 weeks after that happens when everybody else shows up. So,
where else I could see him ending up is I agree with you. Philly's one piece away from a World Series, and if they could coax him into a 2-season deal,
Philly's issue is pitching though, and they just lost that Jeff Hoffman, one of the best relievers in the game, because Jeff Hoffman signed with the Blue Jays on a 4-year deal, 5-year deal, something like that. So it's possible that the Phillies could use him, but the Phillies need pitching first, or they're not going to go deep in the postseason.
I mean, it's kind of a weird. Bregman's kind of a weird free agent because he doesn't really hit 300. He doesn't hit.
He's a career 285. I think he's a career 285 hitter, so he'll make a difference.
270 to 285. I don't know what it was. I looked him up the other day. He doesn't hit for power. So what does he really bring to the table at 31 years old?
He's a gap hitter who's really good at that hot corner. And with the way that hitting has changed in the last 5 seasons, having a solid third baseman is important. It's why Rafael Devers is a defensive liability for the Red Sox now, because Rafael Devers is not a good third baseman. He's great at the plate, but he's not a good third baseman. If Boston, and this is the reason why there are so many Red Sox fans that are clamoring for Boston to sign Bregman, because if they sign Bregman, then they can move Devers to first and use him as a DH sometimes and let Cassis get some more reps in and develop more as a first baseman before he becomes the everyday. And you get a solid right-handed bat at third base, something that Boston desperately needs because they don't have a lot of right-handed bats right now. So this is the teams that are dying for him, because Houston needs a right-handed bat and they need a better third baseman than where they're at right now. What's funny is if Houston signs Bregman, Altuve is going to be in the outfield. Dude can't even jump over the fence, and they're going to have him trying to reach over.
You must be this tall to play outfield.
Jose, the problem with putting Jose Altuve in the outfield is you're going to have to cut the grass sort of so that the fans can see.
You're going to have to get him a step ladder so he can get wall catches.
And Zoe, he's 5'2". And plays professional baseball. No, I'm kidding. He's 5'6". He's 5'6", and he plays professional baseball. And they're going to try and have him out there jumping over those fucking walls. But yeah, no, it's hopefully I'll have more news on baseball next week, because it was just kind of a quiet week.
Right.
Before we go, I got one more question for you.
Okay.
Now, someone's probably going to take the chance. Which team do you think is desperate enough to pull out the claw machine and pluck Trevor Bauer out of Mexico?
I think Trevor Bauer is. I think Trevor Bauer ends up the way of Colin Kaepernick, and that of Colin Kaepernick, and that nobody gives him a chance until it's too late. I think that the difference is, I think that Trevor Bauer is better at his job than Colin Kaepernick was at his, but I didn't like Colin Kaepernick before. That's just
I didn't either.
And again, on his talent, speak your piece, share your shit. There was stuff going on. I don't even have that.
Because y'all all Casey be hating on them too. So all 3 of y'all haters.
I'm sorry. I used to live in Arizona, and I saw a lot of 49ers games. I watched Colin Kaepernick. I'm telling you, it's a talent issue. I have no problem with him in politics. It is a talent issue, 100% of the time.
He was given the opportunity that Tim Tebow should have been gotten.
Tim Tebow should not.
He has to be a fullback. What you mean?
Tim Tebow got more chances than he deserved. Tim Tebow got way more chances than he deserved.
My argument,
he definitely did.
Fuck, I like Tim Tebow. I think he got the short
end.
Dude,
it got so bad with Tim Tebow that Modell's, when he signed with the Jets, Modell's set up a motif, and the Tim Tebow jersey was sitting on the bench. You could look it up. It was like in every Modell's window. It was like Jet, Tim Tebow sitting on the bench, like the mannequins. It was so bizarre.
If Tim Tebow had taken the opportunity to become a tight end, which I think he would have been much better at, if he would have truly been a tight end, I think he would have been I think he actually could have made it in the NFL. But once he actually finally agreed to look at becoming a tight end, which I believe is when he was down in Jacksonville.
Block Dan. Hell no. Block Dan. Hell no.
God damn, man.
Whoa. God damn.
And on that note, before we get,
he completed that pass to Thomas. How about that?
He got the marriage Thomas pass. He did that.
God and the Holy Spirit.
All right, let's go ahead and before the FCC throws us off its airwaves, let's go ahead and go over. Let's go over final thoughts and opinions. Andrew, I'll start with you.
Why do you always got to start with me, man?
Start with you.
White privilege, that's why.
What did you say, 7?
What?
What?
I say
don't be a bitch. Don't be a bitch. What'd you say?
I said white privilege. That's why.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say something, but I don't want to get mutinized off of the cast. Nah, for real, it's been kind of a rough week, especially rough weekend for me. If you guys need to take mental health seriously, find that friend you can talk to, brother, family member. Get it. You got to get it out of you. Keeping that mental stuff in your head is only going to make it worse. Will 7 know better than anybody. I've been reaching out all week. Got to take it seriously, guys. For real. It's better to talk about your problems now than for your friends and family to talk about it at a eulogy. So, mental health is important. Take a couple minutes, take a couple days for yourself.
All right, let me head over to Kyle. Kyle, go ahead and finish up.
All right, so I got a good one. Huge shout out to Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts has done something Aaron Rodgers has never done. Going to the Super Bowl twice.
Oh, shit.
Hey, actually, we didn't even talk about the fact that an Alabama quarterback broke the curse of Jim Kelly.
I didn't know Jim Kelly went to Alabama.
No,
but it took an Alabama quarterback to break the curse of Jim Kelly because Jalen Hurts is the first quarterback in 34 quarterbacks to make it back to the Super Bowl after losing their first time.
Yep.
Jim Kelly was the last one to do it in the 90s with that Bills teams that lost 4 straight.
Some of those quarterbacks on that list include Stan Humphries.
Kenny Stabler won the first time. All right, never mind. Yeah, okay.
Stan Humphries from the Chargers. Neil O'Donnell from the Steelers. Bledsoe from the Patriots. Who else from the 90s? Kaepernick technically is one because he lost in his first one.
I mean, we look at all the ones in the modern time. Burrow, Brock Purdy.
Matt
we can keep going. Hasselbeck.
Yep.
There's
no, you can't.
33 quarterbacks.
Yep.
All right, let me go to Zoe. So what you got to finish this up tonight?
And Saquon's guys we trust. We got
Saquon? Is Saquon running with Jameis Winston?
No, it's Jameis Winston.
No, I'm calling him Saquon. And Saquon's tie.
Oh, so you can do it, but I can't. Is it because I'm white?
Saquon. And Saquon's tie. I'm calling him Saquon.
No, it's because you're a guy. That's why.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Mm-hmm. All right, that's it. That's all right.
My sister just yelled from the living room, 7. It's because you have a penis.
Saquons.
Fair enough.
All right, John, what you got, man?
Go Pigeons.
No, real talk. I'm healing up.
Saquons. Wow.
I got into a bad accident last Monday. So.
Oh man.
Ooh.
Yeah, you too. Both of you need to get better.
My left leg. They trying to stick me on something. I hate taking these shits, but I'm on some meds. Looking for a new damn car.
I gotta say, I hate taking shits too, John. I hate them shits, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you can't stretch out your leg like you need to.
All right. Ambrose, what you got to finish this up, man?
For one thing, I think Tony, your stat is a little off because it wasn't Jim Kelly, it was John Elway, who's the last quarterback to make the Super Bowl after losing the first time.
Oh, was it? Was it? Okay,
no,
my bad. Not since Elway.
But yeah. Elway won it. Kelly didn't.
Elway won it. Kelly didn't. But you're talking about making the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like I did say because that's okay. So you're right. Yeah, my bad. I didn't realize I'd forgotten about Elway.
Yeah. Anyway, with baseball season approaching, even the teams I hate, I want to see a good season, and I hope that the owners can get their heads out of their collective orifices and put together a good team. I think it's disgraceful to see a team like the White Sox perform the way they did. They're a legacy member of the league. I think it's disgraceful to see a lot of the teams pinching pennies and not wanting to put a product out for the fans. And I'm almost getting to the point where I say I hope the fans speak up and just don't go to the stadiums, and hopefully that'll wake up the owners and they'll start they'll start giving us what we deserve with a good product on the field. So I look forward every year to baseball, and I just hope the owners just do the right thing.
All right, Seven, what you got to finish this up, bro?
I would say, John, I saw pictures from the White Sox Fan Fest. I'm in a couple of White Sox groups because of players that I've interviewed, and
who was the one guy there?
That's the point. There was there was a room that was stacked with players, and there was one person in there getting autographs.
Well, because the problem is the White Sox are the last actual.
No, sir.
The White Sox are like the last actual neighborhood team. And, that's kind of a thing that died off. And there's no more like neighborhood teams. Like you had the Brooklyn Dodgers, the New York Giants back in the day. The Philadelphia Athletics were a neighborhood team. The White Sox are that last like relic of what baseball used to be like. And the neighborhood gave up on you. You got nothing now.
And I can't blame the White Sox fans for giving up. Like I said, I'm friends with a lot of White Sox fans, and they're just they have no motivation. You put your product on the field so that your fans have motivation to show up. Kansas City in the 90s, when they kept losing in the playoffs, one and done, they were still trying to put a product on the field, and fans were still coming out.
But
so you don't have to just win every game. You just have to have a good product on the field where you're at least trying. And the White Sox aren't even trying. The A's have spent more money in this offseason than the Chicago White Sox.
That's the problem, is that, to their credit, the Hunt family never stopped giving up. And they did genuinely try. Jerry Reinsdorf's philosophy was always field a second-place team because you won't have to spend money on a World Series team, and you'll be good enough for the fans to come in and hope for a winner. That was always his philosophy. The only reason Jerry Reinsdorf is regarded as a good sports owner is because Jordan somehow fell to the third pick in the draft. That's the only reason Jerry Reinsdorf is considered to be a good owner.
That's fair. As far as for me, just getting stuff ready to bring the shows back, and then getting ready for my 3-peat era. Looking forward to it.
It ain't gonna happen. Pigeons don't take it.
Happen. It's gonna happen.
Pigeons, boy.
Them angry pigeons are gonna try, and they're gonna field a good team. But I will be. I feel like the city of Philadelphia shouldn't have to worry about greasing up light poles, so that people don't climb up it.
Somebody fell off last night.
Do what?
Somebody did what?
Somebody climbed up.
You think that's gonna stop a Philly fan?
They're fucking.
They're too cold for that shit.
They probably have the Batman grappling hook.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. All right, you guys. Andrew had to go. So I just want to say thank you for all you guys coming through. We had a good audience tonight. Appreciate you guys coming out. As always, we'll be back again next week right here on Wire to Wire Sports. Also want to say a quick thank you to National Streaming Sports on YouTube for having us as well. And if there's nothing else, we'll see you guys again next week. Everyone have a safe week.
Black hole.
And take care.
Tony looks like he's auditioning for a WWE job.
You look like you're auditioning for America's Most Wanted.